Today's episode is brought to you by the best store in the universe. Thousands of shirts, but not really. Shop now and support the show at MaddoxRules.com. Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from bad dogs to good boys. With over 3 million downloads, I'm your host, Maddox. With me is the Deputy Tangent Officer, Ron Babcock.
Hey.
And the Sultan of Swag, Mikey Bull.
Hey.
And as always, the Junior Journalist, Taylor Nikolai.
What gender am I?
Welcome back to the show. Good question, good debate right at the top. Not even done with the intro and we have a debate already. But the actual debate topic this week is, are memes ruining the internet? And we have the perfect guest to debate this topic. Please welcome, with over 415 million views on YouTube, Mango. Mango, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Maddox.
Yeah, man, very cool. So you got, for those of you who don't know, if you're listening at home, especially people who aren't as young, in the,
as young as me.
Yeah, because
I'm 13. Yeah,
you're 13 years old. This is we should take away that out.
You look terrible.
For 13. No, you're actually 21, right?
Yeah, I just turned.
You just turned 21. And Mango, you got your huge following and all this just crazy views, crazy career that you built from playing Minecraft. You were one of the original OG Minecraft streamers,
I wouldn't
right?
say OG Minecrafters, but of the second wave of Minecrafters, I was one of the original second wave Minecrafters after the first initial wave died out. That was
and
original.
You were like, this ain't your dad's Minecraft.
After those 18-year-olds in 2011 became 23, I became the next 18-year-old that
move over,
would go
Grandpa.
up.
Yeah. Now, Mango, I gotta tell you something. Like, you probably, just looking at you, you're young, you're hip, you don't have a lot of curmudgeon friends. And I'm proud to be...
Wait, what is curmudgeon?
Exactly. You're talking to one. I am a curmudgeon. Just a cranky...
I still don't know what that means.
Just a cranky...
Maddox's spirit animal is a literal stick in the mud.
Fuck you, Ron.
It's someone who is just like a Debbie Downer, someone who's just like always going to look at the negative of a situation.
That's not true.
So basically someone you never want to be around.
Yeah, like, hey, do you want to go talk to that girl? Whatever. No. Fucking, she's going to reject me anyway. Yeah.
Hey, shitheads, I'm in the room.
Bitch.
I'm literally in the room still. I'm just sitting right here while you guys shit talk me. So anyway, yeah, that's a curmudgeon. So as a curmudgeon, right, when every new thing comes along, and at one point, I know this sounds fucking ancient as shit, but MySpace was new, and I just plug my nose and I hold my breath and hope to God that it goes away, because I don't want to sign up for another fucking thing. And that's how I felt when Minecraft first came along. I'm like, oh God, here's another fucking thing I gotta check this. I missed the boat. If I feel like I missed the boat if I feel like I don't get in on it in the first like 4 months, right? So I kind of like held my breath and I was like, fucking, I'm not into it. I'm never gonna check this shit out. And then finally, one day I was in I think a Best Buy or maybe at E3, and Minecraft was coming out on PS4, and I picked it up and I started playing it. And I watched so many YouTubers trying to understand Minecraft and trying to like get into it, and it didn't click until I finally played it. And then I understand the game. It's just exploration, right? It's exploration.
Well, I would say for me initially, I originally saw Sinnott play it back in like 2009, 2010, and then after I saw him, I thought it was the coolest thing. I wanted to get into it, but then when I tried to play it, it was just a shit game to me, in my eyes. So I was like, nah, fuck this. I don't want to play this. But then after I refound it in like 2014, around end of 2013, early 2014, when there were mods added to it, when it was a lot more advanced, that's when I was like, yo, this is cool. The first thing that got me into it was Pixelmon, which is Pokemon in Minecraft.
Okay.
So I was like, I can play Pokemon with tons of people in the same like MMO space online, and we could battle gyms together, we can battle each other, we can just train together. I thought it was the coolest thing. It was like a Pokemon MMORPG, and then but with Minecraft. So then after that, I just got into Minecraft, and it was
and
cool.
your career has taken off. It's amazing. Is there anything are you still playing Minecraft? You're going.
I don't play really video games at all anymore.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you play the same game every day for 3+ years, it's like, this is work.
Yeah.
And in your leisure time, you want to go outside, explore life, and talk to people and have real interactions with people rather than over a computer screen.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it turns out maybe we're both a little bit of a curmudgeon.
So
that's
I'm a curmudgeon.
A little bit. Just learn something about.
I'm getting older. I feel old already. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a baby curmudgeon.
Yeah, that's what a budding curmudgeon.
Yeah. I mean, we all turn into one sooner or later.
Yeah.
As soon as you say the phrase, "these goddamn kids," you have reached the curmudgeon level.
Yeah.
So as soon as you start thinking, a lot of Republicans have some pretty good ideas, actually.
Well, welcome to the show. We are going to be debating are memes ruining the internet. But before we do that, let's hear everyone's buzzer. I'm going to go around the room. Here's mine. Go ahead, Mango.
I think that was
wrong. Oh, I disagree. And Ron, our first tangent officer, if you hear a buzzer from anyone during this debate, that means someone is disagreeing with someone else or we're just chiming in. And I play those buzzers every episode for first-time listeners so they know who's buzzing in. It kind of makes sense, dipshits. I got a fucking voicemail.
And the cool thing is that he's totally over it.
Yeah, you can hit wrong on that one. Wrong! And later on in the show, I got a very nice gift from a fan. I can't wait to show you guys.
It was from me.
Was it from you, Mango?
Yeah, I submitted it.
All right, I'll check the name. You may have used an alias. But it's a very nice gift, and we're going to open that up later in the show. And we also have voicemail coming up after the debate. If you want to leave us a voicemail, go to the website madcastmedia.com, click on the best debate, and the phone number is at the bottom of every page. So go ahead and leave us a voicemail, and then we've got some news with our junior journalist, Taylor Nikolai. But, Mango, as our guest this week, I'm going to give you first stab at the debate. Are memes ruining the internet? Why or why not?
Wrong!
That's not
They're
even...
not ruining the internet is what I was trying to say. And I also wanted Ron to talk because Ron kind of rhymes with...
Ron, yeah, well...
so you're on my side, right, Ron?
In this case, a Ron does make a right. I guess I never really... I think the internet's a lot bigger than memes. I think the internet is all-encompassing. So to say that memes are ruining the internet, to me, is giving memes too much power.
It's expanding the internet.
Whoa, keep talking. I'm listening.
It's allowing people to have topics to talk about in everyday life about the internet that they normally would never bring up, like this new Yanny versus Laurel thing.
Oh.
Everyone's talking about.
Okay, as a curmudgeon, you do know our stance on this.
What is it? Is it Yanny or Laurel?
I haven't even listened to it. That's how much of a curmudgeon I am.
That's correct. He is that much of a curmudgeon.
Have you listened to it?
I did. I went to the New York Times. The New York Times had an article. And for those of you who don't know, there's this... I mean, everyone fucking knows at this point, almost. But there's some kids were playing around with a dictionary, and they were putting in the word laurel. And, laurel's kind of like a wreath or something that you wear.
Yeah,
like
it's a flower.
Yeah. So some people heard the word Yanny when they played the sound, when they heard the computerized voice saying the sound. And it turns out the reason is because people who hear higher frequencies, usually younger people, hear Yanny. And then, as your age goes higher, your sensitivity to higher frequencies lowers, and you start to hear laurel. And so the New York Times had a slider, and you can like move it between how much Yanny and how much laurel you're going to hear. And right in the middle is just average. And then you're supposed to listen to that and see which one you hear. I played with that slider. I started hearing Yanny if I moved it all the way to the right, and then I slowly moved it all the way to the left to see when I'd hear Laurel again, and I couldn't hear Laurel anymore. I was like, are you
young is what it's saying. Yeah.
I'm very young at heart. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing, Mango.
And I think I just grew up like while I was listening to it because the first time I listened to it, it was Yanny. Then about 8 hours later, it was Laurel, and I never heard Yanny again.
I actually just listened to it just now, and the first time I listened to it was Yanny, and the second time was Kill Yourself.
Correct.
And so I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to.
Yeah.
I heard a really funny joke by my friend Siren Q. So start a knock knock joke. You'll say knock knock and then say Laurel. So
knock knock.
Who's there?
Laurel.
Yanny?
Oh, fuck out of here, Taylor. Anyway, yeah. So that's a meme, right? That's become a meme, and it's a topic of a conversation. The New York Times wrote about it, but doesn't it just make you feel like, as a species, aren't we just wasting our fucking time?
Well, I think
I think you guys need to define what a meme is.
Oh, a meme. That's a good point, Taylor. Well, a meme is something
it's a meme.
Yeah, there you go.
I think he's covered it.
It's self-evident.
Memes are self-evident.
No, because define meme because you're both kind of already saying different things on what a meme is.
Okay, so a meme, I think the origin of the word, the etymology of the word, it comes from genetics, where I think this guy...
Dawkins, I think.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, and where this guy noticed a type of gene that was predominant, and it was being carried on from generation to generation, and he called those memes, mimetic genes. And sometimes funny things, funny posts on the internet carry on like that. They spread almost like a virus from generation to generation, and that's what a meme is. So that's the origin of the meme.
A virus.
A virus. It's a basically.
Well, I think there wouldn't be any memes if it wasn't for Skyrim, and I took an arrow to the knee.
Oh, really? And by the way, I hate that. The arrow to the knee. Although, well, I've made some arrow to the knee jokes inadvertently. But the original memes on the internet. Actually, I heard this. One of the very first memes ever. The very first meme videos is a video of a bunch of people blowing up a whale on a beach because it was a dead beached whale from like the 70s.
And then, but it blew up a little too good.
Oh yeah, there was like,
And then it blew up on the internet.
Correct, Mango. It did. But there were chunks of whale meat like landing,
Like on people and cars and shit.
cars. It crushed someone's car and then miles away, and it stunk to high heaven. Because if you think about it, and I wrote about this in my book, Fuck Whales, which sounds like a plug, but it's not. But if a whale gets beached, it's really difficult to remove it from that beach. How are you going to do it? Think about it. I'm asking you guys.
I just love the fact that in the 70s, someone's like, blow the fucker up! Everyone's like, all right, yeah, no.
Well, you got that one dude from the construction company. He's like, well, we got all this dynamite.
Listen, man, I could blow. I mean, I don't know what you would do. I figured they would just get bulldozers and like try and push it back in the ocean, but then I'm afraid they could never get it pushed far enough out where the waves would just bring it back in.
Yeah, the tide just brings it back in. So what do you do? What do you do, Mango?
You get a lot of seagulls to eat it.
Yeah, well, that's a shit ton of seagulls. Imagine the amount of seagulls you would need to literally eat like 2-3 tons of whale meat.
What if you just give everybody a bucket and a knife and you go, hey guys, everyone's eating whale for like a week. You know, you come down with a bucket, you just scoop out a bunch of whale meat, take some for your lamp, get some of that whale oil.
Yeah.
Get some whale blubber, yeah.
Yeah, get some blubber for, your house. Blubber up your house with insulation.
Whale meat sucks. So I have a...
Have you tried it?
I have not, but I know people who have. And first of all, it's very high in mercury. It can give pregnant women, it'll give your child brain deformities if you eat any whale meat. And then the second thing, my friend got a piece of whale meat. He went to Alaska, and he was doing like one of those, he was on like one of those crab catching trawlers or whatever. And then when he went into the local town, there was not that many restaurants, and the locals there, pride themselves in their whale meat. So they came up to him and they gave him like a whale steak, and he cut a piece off and put it in his mouth, and he said he just kept chewing and chewing and chewing, and his mouth just filled with oil. It's very oily meat. And he said he couldn't chew it. It was like gristle. And then his mouth was bloated, and he just like waited until everybody was ready to leave, and he just stepped outside the restaurant and spit it out. And then they said, "Did you like it?" And he didn't want to be rude, so he said, "Yes, I'll just take the rest to go." And he took it and wrapped it in like a little wax paper and put it in his jacket. And so while he's walking, he's like trying to like tear off chunks and throw it away. So he can, he doesn't want to take it with him on the plane, but he couldn't do it. So he got to the airport. He tried to throw it away in the airport. He reached into his jacket, and he noticed the entire side of the jacket was soaked with oil. Whale meat just is garbage.
Yeah, this is gross. Let's move on.
Anyway, memes. Why do you think the memes are not only okay, but you think they're
beneficial?
A good thing? Yeah.
I think they just allow people that normally would never create discussions with each other, and people that would normally just keep to themselves. They have arguments on the internet. They troll on the internet. They just create all these emotions and moods that normal people who just sit at home all day would never experience.
Well, do you have any that come to your mind, memes that you may have seen that made you happy, or the ones that you particularly
like for per se, take an arrow to the knee for one. I know me personally at school, when that was like a thing, we would always make jokes about taking an arrow to the knee. So like it connects the internet to the real world in a way that doesn't normally happen, I would say.
And for those who don't know Skyrim, can you explain what
So pretty much in Skyrim, there is a soldier or like a guard that you go up to and you talk to him, and he said he used to be an adventurer, or I used to be an adventurer like yourself, but then I took an arrow to the knee. And then there was this whole like science behind it about if you took an arrow to the knee, would you actually not be able to walk anymore or travel anymore? And the science says you probably wouldn't be able to do anything anymore because it would shatter your kneecap. So it makes sense that he was a guard. And then I don't think it was a meme for that long, but then like a year or two later, it just sort of swarmed the internet again. And then everyone was saying it. And I think that's in a way, or at least for me, my generation, that's where like memes started, I would say.
Interesting. Okay, so
I think that there's no message behind that at all, though. Like,
It's just funny.
Like, I feel like it resonates with people, but I feel like there's almost like two different types of memes. There's the meme where you're talking about, where it's just like a funny concept that people wanna spread because it's like it's dumb. Like you took an arrow to a knee, and people can make jokes around
Like
that.
I used to be a Minecraft YouTuber, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Right,
You know?
right. But I feel like the difference is that like the better way to say that memes are better for culture online is like when there's text on top and text on bottom, because so often it's like you're not able to describe a feeling or relate to something without like a SpongeBob meme that is just in the correct facial expression with the text on top and text on bottom to describe how you're feeling that way. I feel like they're different things. Like I feel like the word meme is too broad of a concept.
Maddox, is what you're saying the fact that memes, like they've become this kind of cultural currency, what allows a lot of us to have discussions back and forth or recognize something, but it's distilling like the English language down to simpler and simpler components. So we're kind of having an element of like 1984 good speak. Is that what you're arguing, that memes are bad for society because it's kind of effectively making us like dumber?
well, that is definitely a point. I will give you that, Ron. But I want to ask you something. Let's deconstruct your argument, Mango, because a second ago you said that memes bring us together because it gives us something that we can all relate to and communicate with. Ron, before I asked Mango what Skyrim was and where that meme came from, did you know?
What?
Exactly.
I
did not know.
I did not know.
So did
All
that
the
make you...
non-curmudgeons
yeah.
would know, though.
all the non-Kermit dungeons.
Yeah.
No.
But so did that make you feel closer and more together, or isolated and more ostracized?
I don't know if I felt ostracized. I just felt like
You felt ostracized.
I do feel like a meme. It's kind of like a each one is kind of like hey, have you heard of this?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a club. And then when you know it, then you're all of a sudden part of that club. I wasn't aware of the arrow through the knee meme.
Yeah. So you were out of the club, and that makes people feel sometimes isolated. It's almost like a hip language, right? If you use, I don't know. For example, if you use the word gnarly, right, that dates you. Nobody says gnarly anymore. People
Nobody says gnarly anymore?
Not
I say
really.
gnarly.
No.
Fucking A.
Yeah, it was
fair.
kind of cool in the 80s, but no one's saying that shit anymore.
People say snazzy now instead. Yeah.
Snazzy was a thing in the 90s, and now it's making a comeback. But then also things today have to be either rad or dope, right? Or tits or lit.
Or sick.
Or sick, exactly.
Or hype.
Or hype, yeah, exactly, hype. That's another one. So when people say something's good, they say it's hype.
Those tits are hype.
Correct. But it's like, it's a language that if you're not hip on, can make people feel less included, not more. What do you say to that, Mango?
I would say that if you are not educated in the field of memes, thou should look on the internet for 5 minutes and educate thyself.
Yeah.
About this memes.
Well, so one of them going around, and I actually just made a meme just the other day, is that is this a pigeon meme that's been going around? And I kind of have to explain, because how many people just by vote in this room have heard of is this a pigeon meme?
I have not.
Taylor's raising his hand.
I feel unincluded already.
Do you really?
You know what it
is.
You know what it is.
You know.
Right?
No, I don't.
Really?
Is this a? I mean,
I'll explain it.
Yeah.
There's an anime where
Oh wait, I know what this is.
what is
Yes,
it?
it's the dude. He's like kind of walking out of a door, and there's a pigeon there. But I've saw people like all of a sudden change it, like the message. So I don't know what the original thing was.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I'll explain what it came, the context where it came from. There's this anime where a kid is coming out, like he's caught outside of his school by like his principal or someone caught him outside, and he goes, "What are you doing out here?" And he says, "Oh, I'm studying." And he says, "What are you studying?" And there's a butterfly flying by, and he says, "I'm just studying nature. Is this a pigeon?" He's acting dumb. Is this whatever. And so people have taken that and turned it into a meme, and they use him as the subject. So I made that meme just yesterday with a Fortnite reference. And I am so many layers in. I'm just looking around the room. No one knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's why I would say that memes sometimes can make the internet, I think, more divisive and less together rather than bringing together. It can bring people together, but in niches, like a cool kids club.
I guess you could say that, but I also feel like right now, even, you can explain the meme to me in 30 seconds, and now I'm a part of the club. So it's like, if anyone doesn't know a meme, it's not like we're going to shit on them and just be like, oh, you don't know memes.
Or it's not like the barrier of entry is
Yeah.
high. Like, you just need to, like, what is this? And someone
Or
explains
like
it to
say
you.
the most interesting, or not the most, or I don't always drink beer, but if I do, I prefer Dos Equis, right? So it's like, I think a lot of people don't know where that originated, but it's like, I don't always make YouTube videos, but when I do, I don't have pants on. You know, it's just like, I think it doesn't necessarily matter where a meme originated from, as long as it's something that can always be funny and people
It's almost
can
like
laugh at.
if you know where it originates from, you can appreciate the deeper memeing of the meme. Thank you. But you can still enjoy the topical part of it. I mean, I think the one thing about memes is that a lot of them are terrible. Some of them are like fucking mean as shit, you know, but that's because people are terrible. And a lot of people are mean as shit. So we can argue all day long, like, are memes ruining the internet? People are generally good and awful. So we're going to create good and awful things. So even if you say memes are ruining the internet, there's nothing you can do to stop it. People are going to keep creating memes.
And most people on the internet are shitty people, I would say.
I think the internet brings out people's shitty
because they don't feel like they have, or they feel more comfortable being shitty and being negative.
Well, it's easy to be shitty to someone when, like, to somebody's face, it's like a lot. Like, first of all, you have to have some balls, but to just sit on your computer and be shitty, like, anybody could do that. I mean, God, remember when we were 12? Like, God, if I had the internet more, I mean, I would go into, like,
I
IRC.
had the internet when I was 12.
Well, yeah, you're only 14, so. But I remember being on IRC when I was 12, and I was a fucking shithead.
I'm still on IRC. In fact, if you go to madcastmedia.com and click on Interact, there's a link to my IRC channel.
I love how
I don't know what IRC is. Is that a bad thing?
it was like the early version of chat rooms, and I love that Maddox is like the grandfather of the internet. Like, back in my day.
Yeah, IRC stands for Internet Relay Chat. And basically, I've been meaning to make a video about this for a long time, but Twitter, I feel like, is a ripped-off version of IRC. In IRC, you know hashtags on Twitter? Where you can hashtag something, and that's the topic that you're discussing. In IRC, you joined a hashtag channel. And channels are basically just topics. So there was like a hashtag video games, hashtag coders. And that's what I would join, is hashtag coders to talk about programming. And so now there's a hashtag Maddox. So people can join my chat room, and that's what we discuss. So, IRC...
People could join your chat room to discuss you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Pretty cool. My IRC room is 14 years old, I believe. It's like 14. Yeah, I made it like 14 years ago.
Dang, it's older than me.
What's that?
It's older than me.
It's older than Mango. So, but back to the memes for a second. If you wanted to explain a meme to, say, your parents, like, where would you start?
Well, first of all, my mom is not of American culture, so I don't think with any amount of explaining she would ever really understand them.
Does your mom get the whole YouTube thing?
She understands that you can make money from it.
So have you shown her your videos?
She works like hand in hand with me. She's the one that tries to pressure me to upload more videos now and like make more
awesome.
Minecraft videos. Yeah, her life has sort of become my life. Because ever since my...
I love that if your like mom becomes your like social media manager.
She basically is in a way. And she does all like my business stuff and all that financial side of things for me. But she's always like, she cares about thumbnail, or she knows thumbnail and idea. So she'll like be looking through YouTube for different trends, and she'll tell me like, "Oh, this was hot," or "This one's a trend that you do it, Michael," or she'll go like,
Damn, dude.
"Oh, make sure you do good thumbnail on this one." I get good thumbnails for you. So she'll just like, I don't know, her whole life revolves around. I think the funniest thing is that like almost a meme or an inside the family meme is that her and thumbnails are like a family meme for us. So every time she talks about like, or like say when I'm at home and we're just eating dinner or something, she'll always bring like, oh, you like this thumbnail we got for you? And she always like messages these kids to make thumbnails for different videos. And
Damn,
like,
dude.
Mom, I haven't uploaded a video in like 2 months that's Minecraft. I don't need any more thumbnails. You don't need to keep paying these people. And then she's like, no, it's always good to get more thumbnails.
You should do
even
a
if there's no video for it, she'll
You should
get
just do a
thumbnails.
video of all-star thumbnails suggested by your mom.
Yeah, she always just finds different, or she makes different thumbnails, and it's like I'm never going to use them, but she still has them there, just sitting in Skype. And what she always does also is in Skype, she'll have a different name, and then she'll pretend not to be my mom. She pretends that she's my mom's like assistant. So she has a different name every time on Skype as she messages people. Like, oh, I'm definitely not Mingo's mom. I'm just an assistant. Or then she'll email people from her actual real name and then be like, okay, talk to my assistant, which is actually her just under a different name.
Gosh, your mom's a shark, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You got the cool.
She doesn't want people to know that she's working on these thumbnails.
That's amazing.
But now the whole world knows, right?
Wow. Yeah, I guess so. This is the first time you've discussed this in public?
No, I've actually discussed it many times, but she still thinks no one knows.
Okay.
So, like, say for Minecraft events, when I would go to those, she would have this person named Ava, who is not my mom, email them and talk to them about everything. And they found out, or they asked me, who is Ava? I was like, it's just my mom. And then, so they know it's my mom, but she still keeps on messaging as Ava, and then she messages as her name, and then she goes like, okay, talk to Ava. Talk to Ava.
Damn, dude, your mom is so cool.
And I even told my mom that they know, and she still is like, no, they don't. They don't know. There's no way they know.
Can
I'm too far deep now. I got to stick to my cover.
I want to be your mom's son. Like, can you guys?
You mean like my
adopting?
brother? You mean?
Yeah, like your brother. Can I be your brother? Your old curmudgeon brother.
Are you over or under the age of 18 right now?
I am under the age of 18.
Under the age of 18, potentially then.
Potentially. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I'm gonna have to set you up for an interview.
Now, what were you saying though about like explaining a meme to his mom? What was the point you were getting at?
The point is, again, that, well, for example, that meme that I tried to explain earlier, the one that I made, I didn't even get to the heart of it. I was just explaining the reference of the meme.
What's the funny part of that one? I didn't even understand it.
See, and you won't, because once I explain it, I know that only Fortnite players, and even Taylor plays Fortnite, and he still didn't get the meme that I made yesterday. Basically, it showed...
Maybe it just wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. People who play Fortnite love the meme, Ron.
People like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't that good of a joke.
I'll tell you what it is.
Possible?
Okay, new players, when they play Fortnite, when you build platforms, okay, Fortnite's a game where
Jesus
you mine...
Christ.
Exactly.
Everyone knows Fortnite. I don't think we need to...
No, but you don't know. You
I
don't
know what
Fucking wrong.
Fortnite is.
Okay, do you know you mine materials in Fortnite?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what kind of materials?
Fucking Minecraftium.
Wrong.
I don't know what you mine. I don't know.
Three types of materials: wood, metal, and brick, right? So if you build a platform in Fortnite and then you destroy it, sometimes new players think you're going to get materials from destroying a platform you just built, and you don't. So I use that meme to make a joke about that, about new players who play Fortnite. Hilarious, right? Look at this.
But I still don't get the, is this a pigeon reference?
Yeah, so I had the guy be a new Fortnite player, and then the pigeon thing be platforms that you built that you then destroyed, and then it says, "Is this collecting materials for me?"
Oh my god! You know, I started out thinking memes were fine, and you actually changed my mind.
Hey!
I do think memes are ruining the internet.
Thank you. See?
That was
I
awful.
think they're okay as long as Maddox doesn't come up with any on his own.
I like that.
You know, here's the thing, though.
We'll have a ban list of people that aren't allowed to make memes.
I will say this, though. For real, I have created, just over the course of my career, so many things that have gone super viral and become memes. For example...
What's one of your memes?
The I am better than your kids thing was one of the first and one of the original. It was an email forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so popular.
Email meme?
It was an email meme back in the day, and because there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no MySpace.
I remember
Instagram, none of
getting
that.
it. I remember
Yeah.
getting it and laughing at it and forwarding it on to friends.
Yeah, so I wrote this piece called I Am Better Than Your Kids, where I graded children's artwork, and that later became a book as well.
Remember there was like one picture of like a fire engine? I think you just wrote, fuck you.
No, it was ding ding, here comes the shitmobile. And everybody loved that, and that went super viral. I got millions of hits
But
overnight.
people liked it because you were shit-talking kids, which
Yeah.
is kind of fucked if you think about it.
I think I laughed so hard I peed myself.
Hey, there you go. I made Taylor piss. So that went around, And to the point where like people started taking my name off of it, my credit and whatever, and someone forwarded it to me and said, "Hey, check this out. Look how funny it is." And I wrote back, I'm like, "Yeah, idiot, I wrote it." It was and that's just one. When Robin Williams died about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I noticed
I think it was like
ABC's
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah. I noticed on ABC's website, it said the headline was something like Robin Williams' family just looking for peace and privacy at this time. And then right above that was a banner. It said, live helicopter view of Robin Williams' house. And so I just screenshotted that.
Wow.
And I drew an arrow from the headline to the live announcement. That went super viral. It got like something like 30 million views like overnight. It was just crazy.
I have a meme. I'm a meme. I'm pretty
Shut up, Ron.
No, I am.
Oh, no, Ron is a meme. That's correct. Ron
I am
is a meme.
I did a video for MTV once about like a guy playing Jenga.
Yeah.
And he asked a girl like, "Hey, do you want to play some Jenga?" And she's like, "Is that game with the little tiny pieces?" And she looks over, and I'm butt naked, and in front of like my dick is a Jenga tower, and the one piece in front of my dick is slowly coming out. And so somebody turned that into like a GIF, and it went crazy. And once a month, somebody from my high school messages me on Facebook and goes, "Is this you?"
Yeah.
And because for a while you could type "sexy" into Facebook and the GIFs, and that would be the GIF that would come up.
Yeah.
So when I die, my biggest crowning achievement is that I'm the sexy Jenga guy.
Yeah, and some of our friends, we have some friends who do comedy. There's this guy named Dave Tuney. Whereas there's I don't know what sketch it's from, but it's him in a shower just crying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a famous meme. We have actually a lot of friends who Rucka, our old moderator on the show, Rucka Ali, has a ton of memes on those those GIF things too. Yeah. Yeah. So, those are I guess we have contributed to meme
memes
culture.
are bad for the internet. Like that's the one thing I've done where I'm like, all right. And everyone who like Googles me at a new job,
Yeah.
they're always like, "Hey, I saw you on the internet," and I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm pretty naked on it. you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So, okay. So memes can be, I guess you're saying, a good thing to bring people together. But also, back to Taylor's point, where Taylor was saying that it kind of dumbs us down, where we can only communicate to each other in this like weird, broken,
That was my point.
Oh, is that what your
It's
point?
already-
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
dumbing you down.
I'll take it.
It's dumbing you down so much that you're attributing the wrong person.
That's it. See what happens? We're talking about memes. Made me dumb, maybe a little bit dumber, which is still super smart.
I don't know if you could push that all on memes, though. I feel like that's just happening like with emoji. Like we're substituting communication. Like
Yeah, I was going to ask, are emojis memes?
Oh,
Some of them are. Some of them can be. Like the crying face, the laughing crying face emoji can be a meme itself. The poop emoji is a meme, right? Eggplant, definitely a meme. Girls love it.
Cucumbers.
so what's your big if memes are ruining the internet? What's your big fix? What? Stop using memes?
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to say earlier. I do have a fix
Oh, great.
for ending memes.
Well, if it's as good as the way you create memes, I can't wait to hear it.
So we saw this happen in real time within 24 hours. A meme being born and being destroyed in 24 hours, and it was Covfefe. Remember Donald Trump? Now Donald Trump is visiting us right now. He's sitting in the room with us.
Hey, Maddox.
Thank
How
you for
doing?
Sorry, I didn't announce you at the top of the show, Donald.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but we did have that Covfefe. You tweeted that. What did that mean?
Yes, Covfefe.
What is that?
It's a meat from Syria.
Yeah, I don't think so. It
no.
sounds like bullshit.
not?
No, it sounds like bullshit. That was just a typo, and you left it up for like 14 hours.
We all make mistakes, Maddox.
Oh, okay. Hey, you're admitting to a mistake?
No, I didn't make a mistake. Someone else did it.
Oh, someone else did it. I thought you tweet your own account.
I do tweet my own tweets.
Did someone
that's
hack
very
your
true.
account and
They
tweeted
did.
that for you?
It was a
Okay.
hack. It was not a Russian, but it was a Russian hack. It was some sick shit.
Was
going
it
on
somebody from the DNC?
there. It was from the DNC, yes.
So would you say that's bigger than Watergate?
Way bigger, Maddox.
Yeah?
Way bigger than Watergate.
Holy shit. Is that the first time you've ever said that?
Super Trump Gate. That's what
What
we're
was it
calling
bigger than your dick?
Nothing's bigger than my dick. You know?
Yeah, I don't think so, Mr. President. Now, because we've all seen your hands. Now,
Thin ice, Maddox. Thin ice.
what are you going to do, build a wall around me?
Did you see the White House did the Laurel Yanny thing?
It's so cringy.
It was so cringy. They
Yeah.
did is they played the sound for everyone prominent in the White House, including Trump. And Trump. So everyone said if they heard Laurel or Yanny, and then Trump said
You remember what you said? Go ahead, Mr. President.
No, I don't.
He said covfefe. He
Yeah,
said
he said covfefe.
he said you
What I
heard
said.
covfefe.
That's right. That's what you said. Now, covfefe became a meme and it went super viral, which I'm sure you remember.
Yes.
President Trump,
Yes.
of course. And within 24 hours, people were so sick of it that it was just done. And I remember I even tweeted about it where I talked about the lifespan of a meme being like 24 hours now. Another meme that I actually helped destroy was, this is something that went super viral. Another thing.
Noble warrior.
Thank you. Remember that Be Like Bill meme where it had a stick figure and it says,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, here's Bill. Bill doesn't post his relationship status on Facebook. Be like Bill. And everybody was creating their own cringy, stupid, self-righteous version of that.
That was one of those Facebook ones.
Yeah, it was awful.
Any
So-
meme that goes on Facebook is the worst.
So I posted...
Because only curmudgeons will look at it if it's on Facebook.
We,
Well-
we prefer the term Kermit Dungeons.
So I posted. I made a version of that to shut it down, and mine said, "This is stupid. You're stupid. Fuck you. Fuck you." And that one went super viral. I think that one got shared another like 30 million times or something. My Facebook page overnight grew another 30,000 new likes, new followers on my Facebook page just from that one meme alone. So and then shortly thereafter, it was it. That was done. That meme was over. And I think I ended it. So I have the solution. Yeah.
So what's your solution, though? You're gonna be the meme ender?
Yeah.
Just say
I'm the
fuck
meme
you on every single meme and eventually they'll end.
Shame. So two things you can do. You can shame people into stop using memes, or you can oversaturate the meme to the point where it's no longer funny and no one wants to be associated with it. No one wants to like keep using it if it's no longer funny, if it's old, if it's worn out. Right, President Trump?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen your Ron. I've seen your meme. It's great, and I think you should trash his meme. Maybe put "fuck you, Ron" on it. And your
Fuck
penis.
you, Ron. Just stop.
Your
Yeah.
your
And
Jenga penis.
It'll be a real like passive aggressive way to tell you to. I'll just post it on the Madcast page, and
You're like, oh, geez, I didn't. Okay. all
Ron,
right.
I've been trying to tell you, and it's like literally just all over your face.
Could have just told me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we should wrap up this debate.
Well, I was going to say something.
Yeah.
After thinking about it, I really think memes are bad for culture, bad for internet, bad for everything. That's your side, right?
That's my side.
Okay, yeah. So I think the guest is wrong.
Now, why do you think they're bad? For culture, for society, for everything.
I think
he just doesn't like
Memes?
me, is what he's saying.
I think memes restrict conversation. I think instead of actually having conversation, we feel like we need to be funny now. And the only way most people know how to be funny is by utilizing something that's already in existence and pivot it just enough so that they feel creative, but they're not being creative.
Okay, but before memes, people used to just quote lines from friends. Oh. That was the way they had conversations. I went to college with those people. They would just get together, they would sit down for dinner, and then they would just quote lines from the sitcom Friends or movies. And that was them being funny back and forth.
Like even this whole presidency has been meme, and I feel like because of all the memes surrounding this administration, nothing's being taken seriously, and that's why no real political discourse can be had now at all. Because not only is the president a meme in and of himself, he's a walking meme, but the only way that people know how to counteract it is by memeing. So since the start, you've had the hashtag the resistance, which was a meme from Star Wars. And like, even just that is something. It's like, we can't even have political discourse regarding any politics now without resorting to memes. And that is a denigration of culture.
Correct.
I like when he gets all fired up about
I
stuff.
know, that's the most fired up Taylor's ever been. He's
Yeah,
correct.
I know. I liked it.
I will say this. Here's the
Yeah,
other.
take that, Mango.
Oh, man, fuck.
We're really fucking up Mango's argument here. Oh, man. I will say this, though. Here is the other death of memes. And this is when you'll always notice that a meme goes to die is when it shows up in Hot Topic. Or when corporations start using it in advertising. Anytime a corporation wants to be hip with the kids and cool, and they start using memes, like McDonald's does this. McDonald's tries it. Every time I see it in a billboard, it's like 2 months past its expiration. whatever meme they're using, the damn Daniel thing. That's another one where like it died like the same week because everyone was so sick of it.
You're wrong. Sorry.
You know what? I fucking love Damn Daniel.
I still wear white Vans.
You are right until about 3 months ago when everything started to change. I think it all started to change once Wendy's hopped on this meme train.
yeah.
And after Wendy's got on it, everyone's on it. Netflix's entire Twitter account is just memes now. And not only is it memes, but they're like inventing memes and creating them faster. And I'm seeing as memes are starting on the Netflix account and going elsewhere. So you were right until about 3 months ago, and all of a sudden the whole thing's changed.
I would say Netflix is an exemption because Netflix is a content creator. Netflix is it's basically like a content distribution. Like I would say if the official YouTube channel on Twitter, their account started making memes, I would give them a pass because they are a place where people go for content. I will say this though, Wendy's is a good example, and then Oreo. Oreo was, I think, the preceding
Burger King, Wendy's,
Yeah, Burger
all
King,
big,
that's right.
Like even McDonald's has hopped on this a little bit. I don't know if this is still a thing, but when you do this, and you
What are
make
you doing?
people,
What are you doing? Explain for the people.
You got to put it below your waist.
Oh, is that the rule?
Yeah.
Can you explain what the whole thing is?
So
now I'd be able to punch you.
Yeah, it's like
because
when you
for
put your
people
thumb and your
listening-
forefinger together.
when you do like an OK symbol,
it's
Yeah,
a B because you got bopped.
oh, is that what it is? It's a B
You
for
got
Bob.
you got bopped.
Oh, okay, interesting. So,
So even McDonald's was putting that into their advertisements within the last couple months. So I'm seeing every brand's hopping on memes like crazy right now, and I don't think it's killing them because it's sustaining things.
But I would even say, to go off of that bop thing, like me and my friend group, one of the main things that we adapted the bop into is using a B emoji at the start of like every word. So we'll say California, we'll say like Beness instead of finesse. So we've like created our own system of inside jokes, which are technically memes, but no one really knows about them besides our group, and we find them hilarious. So we'll be like laughing in the middle of the street when someone says they got benessed or bopped, but then no one else understands why we're laughing. And I think
do you and all your friends hit each other?
no.
You don't?
No, we don't hit each other about. We don't do this. What we do is we say like you got bopped, or like say if we're breaking up with a girl, she got bopped, or she's getting bopped tonight, or something like that. So
Sounds
it's just like,
sexual.
yeah, that's
Well,
kind of what I would say if I'm hooking up with a girl.
no, that's why bop is such a good word, because it could have so many different meanings and no one knows the real meaning. So it's like you got bopped could be you get kicked out of the group, or it could be you got bopped means you're getting pranked. So like we have a group right now, and we've been saying bopped a lot. And one time when someone was saying like Gabe should get bopped, Gabe's a virgin, basically, guys. But someone's like Gabe should get bopped, and I was like, really? I kind of like Gabe. I don't think we should kick him out of the group. And he's like, nah, he should get bopped. Like we're gonna prank him. And it's like, oh, okay, so that bop makes sense. But then there's like Beness too, which we've come up with, which is basically a semi bop. So it's like it's not a full bop.
This is nonsense. All of this is just nonsense.
A full bop would be that I came to this studio to record this and that I wasn't allowed to be in the podcast. That's a full bop.
Yeah.
But
All
a
right.
finesse would be I'm coming to the studio and we're recording this, but I'm not allowed to talk.
Everyone
That's a
listening
finesse.
is gonna just be like, this is just nonsense.
You got finesse, Taylor. You got finesse.
Guys, I just bought my pants.
That's true. So that was a perfect example of the second time in this episode where someone tried to explain a meme and failed.
But it's funny to explain it.
Well, but that's the thing. That's the nature of inside jokes, including memes, is that people who aren't in on it are on the outside.
But you just described satire. All of satire is basically an inside joke, and it's funny because other people don't get it.
Whoa.
No, I don't think
That is
I-
absolutely satire.
Or is it funny
No.
because you're getting someone else's comedy? So
Satire is funny because some people don't get the joke.
Well,
That's what
satire
makes it funny.
requires context.
Satire is using either sarcasm or humor to make a greater point. So, for example,
point that is lost on some people, which
That's
is
true.
what,
That's
which
true.
is why like it's the greater point.
well, that's funny sometimes.
And
but
also
people-
just a lot of people
I think,
don't
Ron,
understand
I think you're
sarcasm
right.
at all.
yeah, Ron's right.
Sorry.
I
But
love you, Ron.
they can't tell your
I love
tone
you.
when you're trying to be sarcastic or not.
Well, so that goes to the heart. I started writing this article. I haven't finished it, but it goes to the heart of what satire is and how people abuse and misuse that phrase today to get away with all sorts of things. People start using the word satire like a parachute, right?
I think people use the word satire to cover up the fact that they're being an asshole.
That's correct.
Yeah.
They're just like,
That's
it's
absolutely
satire.
correct.
Like, no, you're just being a dick.
That's right. And when they get called out, that's when they say it's satire. People use use and abuse the word satire because when they get caught and when they get called out for being a horrible person. But often, if somebody's saying something and you can't tell, like for example, Louis C.K. has gone on stage and said a bunch of jokes and words that people find offensive, but nobody actually interpret that as offensive because they know it's coming from the context of a comedian. But when you are some drive-by dipshit on the internet who's just, saying something offensive to get a rise out of someone, even if you're sarcastic, you have to assume that the person looking at that message doesn't know the context and doesn't know that you're trying to make that joke. And I think that speaks to the greater message of memes itself, where some memes, I think taken out of context, can seem offensive when people don't know the origin or the intent behind that meme. Do you agree with that or no?
I think for me, I'm not a very sensitive person, so I don't feel like in my eyes it's ever offensive, or I feel if anyone gets offended by a meme which is trying to be a joke. Of course, there are some like really shitty memes that probably shouldn't be on the internet at all. But other than those that are like clearly targeted towards a certain type of people and being very offensive toward a certain type of people, other than those, I don't think anyone should necessarily get offended by a meme. I think especially with my generation, a lot of people have been enabled to be too sensitive to things when it's really just trying to be a joke.
The only thing that bums me out is when, like, remember the meme of the dude, the photogenic guy who was running a marathon?
Yeah.
And they just happened to catch him, and he just was this, like, Adonis of a man.
Yeah.
He looked great. And then there was a woman behind him who just, like, it was a very unflattering photo. And so the meme was about him for a while, but then the meme came about him and then how, like, unattractive she was. And I just like, you know what, man? She's just trying to, like, fucking run her 5K.
Yeah.
Like, she's just trying to get through the day like the rest of us. Where she's like, yeah, I'm going to run a 5K on Saturday. I've been training for it. Then some dipshit happens to take a photo. And then on Facebook, she just sees, like, everywhere is just this, like, image of people, like, the world making fun of her because she doesn't look as good as this dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the part where I'm like, we're all just trying to get through the fucking day, you know?
But you also have to admit, if her face looks very weird, that it's funny.
It was funny.
Yes,
but I did
why-
feel bad for that girl. 'cause
But
I'm
you
like,
don't know the girl.
Hopping on top of
but I'm
that,
still a person.
You can
But you
relate
know-
to humans.
Nobody knows the girl, though, is the thing. Nobody knows her name.
But that
Someone
girl
knew
exists,
her.
though. You know,
Sick.
like, if that happened to, like, you'd be like, ah, fuck.
I'd be like, fuck, but then I'd also be like, it's actually kind of funny, so...
I think, yeah. I mean, I guess it all depends on how
To a
you
point,
yourself
yeah.
react to it.
segueing from that, it feels like a lot of mobs today have so many similarities to memes, where it's like it's fun to like tear someone down in a day, and like people make memes. Like it feels like the whole mob concept. And do you guys understand what I mean by like mob concept of like tearing someone down? People feel like that's a meme, and they like to be a part of it, even though they have no real reason to tear that person down. They like to be a part of that movement, and like that's also a dangerous reason why memes are bad for culture, bad for society, bad for the internet.
That's correct. It has created mob mentality online sometimes because people use memes not to, spread humor, but to also try to tear someone down and to hurt, try to destroy people. And sometimes that happens. And it's
You see that a lot in politics,
you
for
see-
sure.
in politics, for sure, yeah.
People that don't know anything about why they shouldn't like this person or why they should like the person, but they just hear, oh, this person's bad, we need to shit talk them, or this person's...
They bandwagon.
Yeah.
They're uncritical thinkers. They bandwagon because they just want to be part of something. And that can be a big problem.
Right. Have you guys ever like sat and really looked at the magazines when you're checking out before?
The magazines?
The magazines?
Anything. Now, pay attention if you guys are listening. Anytime Taylor says any word that starts with a consonant, vowel, the letter A, and then G. So, like bag, for example. Say bag.
Bag.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm from Minnesota. If
Yeah.
you guys can't tell from my accent.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm
So
from
bag and magazines and
magazines.
yeah, magazines. Yeah.
Anyway,
Is that like a really big magazine, like a mega magazine? A magazine?
Meme it.
The magazines when you're checking. I honestly I can't say it like you guys. Like I've sat here. I've tried to say things
Say
the right
ag.
way.
You're fine.
The ag, yeah.
Ag.
Okay.
Like
Agro.
agro.
Magro.
Okay. Magro.
Magro.
Mago.
Like if I try
Magazine.
I'm like, this is going to be me trying to say magazine the way you guys say it. I'm going to honestly try to say this. Magazine.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
there
good.
you
Did that work?
That's exactly how we all say it.
Really?
I agree.
Did that sound right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, kind of. You really put
Well,
some
let's-
oomph
let's-
on the ag, but
Magazine. Oh,
Let's
you're
ask-
saying it like a person like speaking English for the
Just
first
say
time.
it normally.
I know it sounds like I'm trolling, but I'm not. I honestly struggle with saying it how everyone else
When
says
you
it.
buy magazines, do you put it in your bag?
I put magazines in my bag.
Say bagel.
Bagel.
See, you can say
Bagel.
Bagel.
okay.
Bagel.
Let's ask President Trump.
Yes.
You want to make America great again,
Sure.
right? It's the hashtag what?
Bagel.
No, you.
I just got that. It's mega.
It's not mega. It's MAGA.
It's mega.
Oh man, are you fucking with us?
So I'm just done with my
You
original
say
point.
Okay,
Maga.
say the exact letters that would be.
MAGA.
Okay.
So why is it mega? Why isn't it MAGA?
Mega.
MAGA?
Mega would be
You guys are making
MEGA.
fun of my Minnesota
I actually-
accent. All of your fans in Minnesota are going to hear me and they're going to go, oh, you know what? The other thing in Minnesota, we say hammock. And you guys say hammock.
No, it's hammock.
Is Hammock your like evil twin brother? Maddox and Hammock.
Hammocks.
Maddox is going to go lay in the hammock.
He's actually the really chill version of me. He just like.
Hey guys,
lays
I think
around.
memes are actually pretty cool.
Yeah. He's
I
just like,
swear to God, in Minnesota, here's the other weird thing about Minnesota. You guys say duck, duck, goose. We don't. In Minnesota, we say duck, duck, gray duck.
What?
Duck,
Where-
duck, great.
I
duck.
swear
Gray
to
duck.
Christ. I swear to God. It's the one state in the union where you don't say duck, duck, goose.
In the union, you didn't say the country. You say the union.
In the
union.
in the United States of America.
In the Union of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Duck,
What's up
duck,
with those
great.
magazines at
Duck, duck,
checkout?
Yeah.
And anyway, the magazines. When you're going through checkout, you look at those magazines. They're just the worst. I had an original point that I don't give a shit about anymore.
right,
but
the
like,
tabloids.
just like
Yeah.
like tabloids are like memes in slow motion.
That's a good point. The tabloids were the original memes.
Yeah.
I think because they spread a bunch of gossip and bullshit about celebrities, and that's where.
Do people really believe the stuff that those magazines
I
say?
mean, yeah, dumb moms in the Midwest, I think, that like pick that shit up, and they love to just sit there and read a bunch of bullshit about people because, again, they want to be part of something, they want to be
school
part of a
memes.
mob, and I think that's memes. So yeah,
24-hour news is also like that.
can be, but I don't know how much it. I mean, they can have an element of memeing to it.
Feels like old school memeing was, those magazines and 24-hour news cycle.
Mad Magazine, I think, was originally a print version of memes because they had a bunch of jokes that people would share and things like that. But anyway,
I think Maddox won the argument. We can.
hey,
I think
done.
we should make a Maddox magazine.
dude, good thing it's Maddox and not Magox, because then it'd be Megox.
What?
Never mind. Too many leaps there. Mango.
I'd say not enough.
He's
Mango.
trying to make a point right now. Just let him talk.
I just want to say final word. Memes.
Our memes ruining the
Yeah.
internet. I stick by my stance of a youngin in this industry, and even though I feel like I'm kind of old right now because I'm 21, but I feel that memes are still beneficial for the internet because it allows a generation like mine to connect with a generation that is younger than mine, like Maddox.
Hey, there it is.
By the way, he touched on something interesting. At 21 in the influencer space, you're getting old.
I am old as fuck.
You're getting old.
Got to retire, bro. That's what I heard about people who play professional, I think, Call of Duty, is that around the age of like 21, 22, they start to retire because their reflexes have diminished to the point where...
Whoa!
Yeah.
They have
So it's like-
reaction time
Yeah, it's
standards.
It's like being
Hilarious.
30
Yeah.
in football.
Exactly. It's like, you retire younger when
Just
you're
to
playing
have
some
a
of those games.
21-year-old being like, I remember when I was your age.
Yeah. My fingers aren't what they used to be at 22.
That's actually what I say to 18-year-olds now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, vote on madcastmedia.com. Don't forget to vote. We'll be having the results of this week's debate next week, and we have the results of last week's debate now. Last week, Mango, we debated, are dogs dumb as shit? What is your...
Well, I do have a dog, actually. He's a white Pomeranian named Snovio. And
The cutest dog
he
ever.
is so adorable, but he also shits everywhere, pees everywhere, walks and pisses in his shit, or walks in his shit and piss. And I have to say, I've caught him for probably more than 5 times a day on average, just trying to chase his tail in a circle.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah, so he's pretty stupid.
We put the vote to the audience test, and with 52% of the vote, no. They said dogs aren't dumb as shit. You guys are so fucking... You guys can't stop loving your dogs enough to just have a moment of objectivity and say, yes, dogs are dumb as shit. Right after that debate, I had someone tweet me a video of a pug that was trying to drink water. Trying to drink water.
What happened?
Well, the water was dripping out of a faucet right in front of its face, and the pug was trying to lick the shadow of the water. And he just kept licking.
That's another thing I've seen my dog do. So he has a cage, right? And then we open the cage at times so that he can run out and run around the whole house. And the cage kind of went into a box shape. And instead of going around and outside, he was just barking at not being able to get out of the cage, even though it was open right behind him. Yep. He just turned around.
Yep. That's the same thing with chickens, by the way. People are like, oh, we should have free-range chickens. So farmers are like, okay, hippies. They started putting holes in the coops and then little gated areas for the chickens to go out and breathe and stretch their legs and go out and see some sunshine and grass. And it's, it's something. It's a step towards appeasing people who say chickens are raised in horrible conditions, right? They found that when they open the door, the chickens just stay in their fucking little cage and just sit there. They don't even step outside, these free-range chickens. So there you go, idiots.
Yeah, because we've broken them.
While dogs are stupid, at least they have a pretty decent head-to-body ratio. A chicken, you can tell they're stupid as fuck, just by how big their head is.
Correct. I got a big head. Anyway. And then the second question I asked, because I made the argument that unconditional love from an animal is a bad thing, because a dog will sit there watching you have infidelity in your bedroom and still love you just the same, because that's what dogs do. So I asked the question, is unconditional love from an animal a good thing? And with 77% of the vote,
yes.
Yes, holy shit. I am so disappointed in my audience.
I feel like you just need to get a dog, man. You need to see what all the hubbub is about.
I like dogs just fine, but I'm not going to delude myself into thinking that they're smart animals. They're not. They're dumb as shit.
My buddy does this thing with his dog where apparently if you can test how smart your dog is by putting a blanket over its head and timing how long it takes the dog to get out of the blanket. And so he has one dog, right? And he puts a blanket on his head, and the dog immediately gets out of the blanket. The dog's like, what the fuck is this? And then he has this other dog named Danilo Gagliardi, who's an NBA player, and they put the blanket over that dog's head, and that dog is like, well, this is my life now. They had to remove the blanket from him because it just stood there. It didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that dog, I think most dogs are dumb as shit, but there are some dogs who seem like, they got their shit together.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of voicemail about that, but before we do that, I have a fan gift I'm going to open up right now. This gift comes all the way from Japan, and I got a note with it. It's from a fan named Dillon. He says, I wanted to show some appreciation for all the years you've made me laugh my ass off with both the best page in the universe and the best debate. Happy 100 episode anniversary. Enjoy your Saturn. And he sent me a Japanese Sega Saturn. Look at this guy.
Holy
shit. Dang.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Look
Are
at this
you
thing.
serious?
For real. It's a Japanese Sega Saturn.
Oh my God.
I'm holding this up on camera. If you guys can see on YouTube.
That's fresh. That's like factory fresh.
Yeah, it's the real deal. And I've never had a Japanese Sega Saturn before, and I've wanted one because I have imports, but I've always had to play with an import cartridge.
Wow.
And that's not all. Dillon even sent me a game with it. This is a very rare. It's Vampire Hunter, the fighting game by Capcom for the Sega Saturn. Now, I'm holding this up on YouTube so you guys can see. Dillon, this is an amazing, amazing gift. I'm speechless. Such a nice gift.
What I don't understand is how in America the Sega Saturn boxes were just like the most weird shape.
Yeah.
And now how in Japan they're actually smart and just make it a CD case.
Yeah, in Japan they
No
got their shit
scratches
together.
either on the CD.
It's
Whoa.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to change that, Ron.
He says, happy 100 episode anniversary. Enjoy your Saturn. Check out Retro Game Camp in Little Tokyo in Los Angeles. There's a video game store in Los Angeles called Retro Game Camp, and he sent me the address. It's not too far. You guys can check it out. They have a ton of retro games and imports and things like that. I am just blown away, Dillon. This is such a nice gift. He says, if you want more retro games, check it out. And last but not least, fuck whales.
Aww.
Dillon, what a cool gift, man. What a cool guy.
That is
You should play on
pretty
Twitch.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Play
play
the
this
game on Twitch.
I actually have a ton of import Sega Saturn games that I've been wanting to play on my Sega Saturn, but I just read online. This is kind of sad, but all the Sega Saturns that came from that generation, which is all of them, are starting to die, and that's because the optics in there only last something like 20 years or something like that. Yeah,
Oh.
and so they're all starting
They
to
can't
die.
be repaired or anything?
They can't be repaired because they don't make those things anymore. They don't make those optics anymore. So even
Crap.
yeah, it's just they're just starting to disappear. And so I was afraid to stream some of these games on my own Sega Saturn because I didn't want it to die. And now I got an extra one.
Well, Maddox, where can we watch you on Twitch?
Twitch.tv/Real Maddox.
Oh, great. I'll be sure to tune in.
Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, I can't wait to turn it into a meme.
Yeah, well,
All right.
I wasn't sure if I should buzz that or not. Anyway, guys, we should get to the voicemail. I have a ton of voicemail this week. Here's one about the debate we had on are dogs dumb as shit. Listen to this.
You know, I don't even need to listen to this week's episode because dogs are fucking dumb as shit. Big coincidence, I woke up this morning to a pile of shit in the kitchen because my dog shit in the kitchen. Fuck!
I like that he made sure to tell us it was also his dog.
Dog, that shit in the kitchen.
Could have been anyone's shit. Could have been the dog eating it.
How do you know?
Yeah, last week, Ron, welcome back, by the way. Ron had to, you were out at a wedding last
Yeah,
week,
my
right?
best friend from high school got married.
Yeah, and we had Mike Capes sitting in on the episode, and he talked about him watching a dog eat human shit. And I'm like, well, how do you know it was human shit? He goes, because it was my shit. And I'm like, why would you let a dog do that?
I was once walking out through my neighborhood. I actually had to step over human feces.
Oh, it's the
And
worst.
people were like, well, how do you know it's human? I'm like, because it was coming out of one.
Oh,
It was a bad neighborhood.
you couldn't, like, walk around the guy?
I mean, I didn't realize until, like, it was happening.
too late, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hi.
You can always tell when it's human shit. And this is a thing that you learn living in Los Angeles. I know it's gross, but you can tell it's human shit based on where you find it. If you find, and also based on what you find around it. Usually it's newspaper. Dogs don't use newspaper. Dogs don't use anything except your carpet. Anyway, here's another voicemail about dogs and how intelligent they are.
You know, I think a lot of people are confusing trained and honed instinct for intelligence. Just because something or someone is trained to do a very specific job really efficiently doesn't mean they're smart. If they were so smart, why do they all have signs that say don't distract them? If they were really that smart, they would be able to deal with distractions.
Correct? That's a good fucking point. All these, like, service animals, like, don't distract the service animal from its job. It's like, well, I mean, it's a dog. It's supposed to be intelligent.
You see that on a bus for a bus driver.
Yeah. What are you saying about bus drivers, Taylor? Watch it.
They're dogs.
Oh,
Shit.
or oh yeah, depending on whether or not you think that's a compliment. Here's another. And then I made the claim last episode that the smartest Nazi is dumber than the smartest dog. Right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's a call about that. Listen to this guy.
Okay, so... fuck. I don't think that the dumbest dog... I really don't want to say this, but I think the smartest Nazi might have been smarter than the dumbest dog. I mean, look at Warner from Braun. Not to glorify Nazis or fuck. You're gonna take this wrong way. Fuck.
What is Donald Trump's intake on that?
It's, I wish people were better spoken.
Oh yeah,
Which,
coming from you.
As eloquent as I am,
Yeah.
Mango.
Well, Well, that's not too hard. Here's another voicemail. We got a couple episodes ago. We had a guest on, Santina Muha, who debated our dog's dumb as shit. But we also talked a lot about Italian food because she's from Jersey. She cooks a lot of Italian food. But here's a very nice voicemail we got just about Santina. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. Still love the show, and even though I've had some disagreements with you in the past, all can be forgiven if you bring Santina back on the show. She is amazing. She's hilarious. She's great looking. She just adds a lot to the show. Good job on landing that awesome guest. Otherwise, dogs are dumb as shit. So, point for you. Keep up the great work. Fuck whales.
Yeah, man. That's a very nice email. Like, very nice voicemail. Thank you for that. And I also talked about pesto. Remember, Ron, you were making the argument that pesto is a different enough thing for Italian food, because I argued that all Italian food
You
is
mean
the same
the green sauce that tastes totally different than the red sauce? Yeah, I remember.
Same shit. And
having
I
that point.
claimed it was stolen. Do you like Italian food, Mango?
Yeah, I used to love Italian food, but now I'm vegan, so I can't eat a lot of it.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. I mean, there's if you remove one of the 3 ingredients of Italian food, you can eat it again.
Yeah, but that was like that's the ingredient that makes it taste good.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's bullshit. There's like literally just one ingredient you remove and it's vegan. All Italian food's vegan. Oh, you want that vegan? No cheese? Okay, there you go. Here you go, idiot. Well, here's a voicemail about pesto.
So Maddox thinks pesto is not Italian, but Mediterranean. Well, take a look at the origins of pesto. 16th century, Genoa, Italy. Ingredients: basil, olive oil, garlic, pine nuts, pecorino cheese. Yeah, you're right that pesto is Mediterranean, and the reason why it is because it's fucking Italian, as Italy has coastlines in the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah, whatever. Here, how about this? I think I may be correct about this one.
Of the week.
Yeah, douche canoe. I was saying that pesto doesn't really count. I don't think it's uniquely Italian. And by the way, it's not. I don't think that pecorino cheese is in old pesto. You can eat pesto, right, Mango?
If there's no cheese in it, yeah.
See? So that's
You have normal pesto, and then you have pesto with no cheese.
Yeah. There you go. Have your fucking garbage Italian sauce.
What about Alfredo sauce?
Alfredo sauce? I can eat whatever the fuck I want.
No, I'm saying that's another Italian food that tastes different, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and no one brought it up during the debate, and now it's too late. Sorry.
Oh, man. Alfredo sauce is just like, I never eat it. It just makes me, it's like nap food.
Yeah, it just makes you want to take big
cream,
shit.
Yeah.
It's just like pure cream, and you're like, oh, so good.
It's fat. That's all you're eating.
Yeah.
It comes out of your pores, and you just feel oily all day. It's fucking gross.
You sweat Alfredo forever.
Yeah. Here's another voicemail. So I talked about how dumb dogs are, and I asked Santina, I said, well, can dogs open cans? And we got a call about that. Listen to this.
Hey there, first-time caller. I just got done with the latest podcast, and it was the "Our Dog's Dumb as Shit" argument. I just had an observation. While you were talking to Santina, you had asked her a question, and it went along the lines of, can a dog make a pizza? Or can a dog open a tin can? And I know your brain is small, and I'm going to say this very slowly for you. Dogs don't have thumbs. All right? How is a dog supposed to sprinkle mozzarella on a pizza, or how is he supposed to fucking pour sauce on a pizza, or like may fold the dough? He doesn't have any thumbs. He's supposed to with his mouth. That's unsanitary shit, son. I cannot fucking believe you. Jesus Christ. All right, have a nice day. Love your show. Bye.
You know what? First of all, a dog can just go behind it and like kick the cheese back, like after it takes a shit and it throws like grass over the poop.
Barf.
So that's how it could get it on the
You can
pizza.
adapt.
I'm not going
But
to
it
eat
doesn't
something.
have to because it has people to do that for them.
You know what? Here, I'm a speciesist. I've been saying this for a long time. I think humans are better than every other species. If a dog, even if a dog could make a pizza, I still wouldn't eat it. There you go. I'm a speciesist.
Well, I think what you brought up, Ron, though, that's something that we can all agree on, I hope, that dogs are the most spoiled animal of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't have to do any work at all, and they get everything done for them.
Exactly, but isn't that, I mean, pretty tight? The fact that they've evolved to that situation
That
into
means they're
something
smarter
where,
than us, doesn't
we're
it?
like
Oh,
we're
yeah.
taking care of them.
You mean-
Dogs don't spend any money on us? It's
No.
all the other way around.
That's right.
So I'm
I
just
heard
saying,
once
like,
that-
you can say they're dumb as shit, but Hey, man, they're dumb as shit, but landing them in a pretty sweet gig.
There could be a currency that we don't know about with dogs, though.
There is. It's Dogecoin. It's a crypto coin.
Doge.
My dog...
Yeah,
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. No, it's a real thing. Yeah.
Dogecoin.
Doge. It's Doge?
Dogecoin.
What?
See, now I feel like an asshole because I'm not part of this fucking meme culture. It's Doge?
Doge.
I've always been saying
It's
Doge.
always been
It's
Doge.
always been Doge.
How do you write out that sound?
Doge.
Doge.
Oh, okay.
So sorry, I guess I'm the idiot for only reading it and not discussing it with
Doge.
Who had this conference? Who decided this is how it's pronounced?
The memists.
See, I feel left out now.
Wait, what's a Doge?
By the way, this
the
is an
Doge
interesting.
is the dog that goes like...
Oh, that?
Yeah,
you know the
it's
dog
surprise
meme?
face, and he goes, "Wow, so much whatever."
Oh.
Yeah, that's the Doge. What were you gonna say, Taylor?
It's interesting because, like, in relation to our earlier debate, Dogecoin was a meme in and of itself.
Yeah,
it was a meme within
a meme about the meme.
It was a meme within the cryptocurrency culture. So they made it as a joke, and all of a sudden, it's actually had some relevance.
Well, speaking of
People actually bought it, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of jokes, we had a chef call in last week and bitch me out because I talked about tortillas being different.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, well,
not.
here's a caller calling out that chef.
Oh,
So,
shit.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a professional chef, and Mexican tortillas use corn, and that's a completely different starch. Oh, wait. Tortillas can be either corn or flour based. He compared yeast dough to corn flour when they're literally two different things. And pizza dough uses all-purpose flour the same as tortillas can. Yeast is just a rising agent to make the bread all poopy. Fucking retard. I highly doubt that guy was a professional chef, and if he was, he just sounds even more fucking stupid. Fuck whales.
Oh shit!
Caller call out.
That was a caller call out as fuck. That's what happens. You call in to call me out, you get called out, bitch.
Many call outs.
And here's one last voicemail. This is a very confused caller. See if you guys can.
Most of them are very confused.
Yeah, this guy's especially confused. Listen to this.
Oh, I'm Maddox. I have so many friends. Oh, look at me. I have so many friends. I'm happy for you. Keep up the good work, Fuck.
Hey, there it is. Yeah, couldn't decide whether or not he loves me or hates me.
I would love to see how many voicemails end with the word fuck. I feel like
Or whale. It ends with the word
yeah,
whale.
either
Or
fuck
whale, yeah.
or whale, like, or 60%.
Yeah, intentional or unintentional fucks. That's what we should start
Yeah.
counting. Well, we got a bunch at the tail end of this episode because there was a lot of call fuck ups this week. But anyway, we should get to the news, some quick news headlines with our junior journalist, Taylor Nikolai. Taylor, what do you got for us?
Memory transplant has been achieved in snails.
Oh, fucking. I was so happy until you said snails.
A team successfully transplanted memories by transferring a form of genetic information called RNA from one snail to another.
What fucking memory?
Yeah.
What's the big memory?
I have a theory. Before you read this, Taylor, let me guess. They probably trained a snail to get to something or to recognize something, and then when they transferred it, the snail probably picked it up, right?
The snails were trained to develop a defensive reaction. When the RNA was inserted into snails that had not undergone this process, they behaved just as if they had been sensitized. The research published in the journal eNeuro could provide new clues in the search for physical basis of memory.
So the snail got matrixed and was like, I know Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's really
Don't
interesting.
snails not even have brains?
Snails have brains, man.
I'm pretty sure they just have little strands of RNA or whatever. They don't have actual brains.
Tune in next week. Are snails dumb as shit? Big debate. That's really fascinating, actually. I was hoping that it was humans, but not
Well, I mean,
yet.
I think you got the implication is that we start with snails, then
Or the way that we
Yeah.
can transplant RNA or memories or whatever. What was it? Transplanting?
a defensive mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
know.
way
What-
we
what
do
does that
that is
mean?
by using memes to transfer our...
What kind of defensive mechanism can a snail do? I'm assuming just go inside of its shell, right? Like, it's not like the snail's going to pick up anything and use it.
It sounded like the defensive mechanism was on a cellular level because of the RNA, right? I think it sounded like that.
Right. So
Yeah.
what's RNA mean?
RNA is
The other DNA that's...
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
The lesser known DNA?
Yeah.
DNA's like less cooler, brother.
It's the
RNA stands for ribonucleic acid.
ribonucleic acid. Yes. What else you got, Taylor?
Ukraine's dolphin army is in a patriotic hunger strike after Russian capture.
Jesus Christ.
Dumb. I don't buy it.
Dolphins trained by the Ukrainian military.
There's so many things to unpack in that
Yeah.
statement. First of all, they're patriotic, which I didn't know
Yes.
dolphins like had allegiance to certain countries.
They don't.
Second of all, they're part of the military?
Yeah.
Dolphins trained by the Ukrainian military in Crimea died after going on hunger strike following their seizure by Russian troops, according to a top Ukrainian official. Boris Babin said that the dolphins died patriotically, refusing to follow orders or eat food provided by the Russian invaders.
What were
Or
they
maybe they
feeding
just
them?
didn't like the food.
Yeah.
With the hunger
How do
strike,
dolphins follow orders? Don't swim over there. Fuck you.
the trained animals refused not only to interact with the new Russian coaches, but refused food and died sometime later. Many Ukrainian soldiers took their oath and loyalty much less seriously than these dolphins.
So how are the dolphins used militarily? Like, do people ride them? Do they have like little guns?
No, it's a real
Lasers.
thing. I've actually. What were you gonna say?
Lasers.
Lasers?
I think they have lasers. Yeah.
Like on their backs?
Yeah,
That'd
man.
be amazing. No, I actually heard that even the U.S. military, I think the Marines or the Navy, I'm not sure which, but had experimented with training dolphins. They put beacons on them. They put little homing beacon. What they can do is they can send them into areas because they can't be detected by, I believe, submarines. Oh. So they can send them over, and then they can put devices and equipment on there to detect enemy submarines, and they can train the dolphins to go towards them so that we can get a view of enemy submarines without putting ourselves in danger.
So I want to know, like, first of all, I want to know what the Ukrainians were feeding their dolphins, and like what the
whale.
Russians were
Just
feeding
more
their
dolphins.
Just oily whale meat.
Because honestly, Ukrainian and Russian food, it's like kind of two sides of the same coin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's not like, oh, what? This is so dope. But they're both like dough, forms of dough.
Oh, now all Ukrainian food is the same thing?
I didn't say that. That's you. That's all you.
A 25-year-old man posed as a 17-year-old so he could once again take to the basketball court as a high school athlete. He attended a Dallas high school for nearly 9 months before his arrest last week.
Oh, man, worth it.
Holy
Gil's-
shit.
Tell me he wasn't even that good.
I didn't watch him play.
No, did they say, was he on varsity?
Was he a bench warmer?
Yeah, I mean, no, he was playing in these games. Gilstrap Portley, who was arrested Friday night, faces a charge of tampering with government records.
Whoa.
Gilstrap Portley
Wow.
enrolled at Skyline as Rashun Richardson at a time when the district had opened its doors to hurricane evacuees. So he came in as a hurricane evacuee, quote unquote, and used that opportunity to play on the basketball team again.
So
But
what's
wait, so he still had to go to school and classes and all that stuff again.
Oh, that's
as well.
interesting. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
Was he
Like,
going
what
to
did he
class?
do during the day?
Oh, man, sorry about my crime of wanting to learn and be a part of a team.
The charade came to an end after one of his former coaches saw him playing at a tournament in April, recognized him as one of his old players who graduated from high school 7 years ago.
What is this, an Adam Sandler movie?
I don't know, man. I love this guy.
Yeah,
He's
this
like,
is-
you know what? Best time in my life was playing high school basketball.
This is a
I'm going to do that again.
This is a fucking movie for sure, man. That sounds fascinating. What an interesting story.
Chimpanzees have cleaner beds than humans, say scientists.
Cleaner beds?
Cleaner beds.
Bullshit. Another bullshit.
Chimpanzee beds are cleaner than those of humans because, unlike us, the animals change their sheets every night.
What?
Yeah,
They don't have
How do they
sheets.
change sheets? They don't have
They
opposable
have thumbs.
They don't have opposable
Well,
thumbs.
they got a lot of fingers. That might as well be a thumb.
The great apes build complex tree nests out of branches and leaves each day, which contain fewer body bacteria than beds in most human households.
Listen, I've said this for a long time. I think dudes are disgusting. I'll ask you right now, when's the last time you changed your sheets? Guess what? That's too long. It's gross how long people leave their sheets on their bed. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you know.
If you want to meet a woman, change your goddamn sheets.
By contrast, human beds are teeming with fecal, oral, and skin bacteria,
No
according
shit,
to a new...
I fart in my bed. Of course it's teeming with
You
fecal
shit in your
bacteria.
bed too?
Yeah, I mean, you know, what is a fart except a preview of a shit?
I mean, I bop in my bed all night long.
Oh!
There you go.
Computers have cracked the code of pop song success. It helps to be happy and female.
So to make a successful pop song, You just have to be happy and female.
What about that one song, "Happy" by
Well, yeah, by Will
Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
Not Will Ferrell.
Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell Williams. That's the guy. Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Not Will Ferrell. The other Ferrell.
After analyzing the attributes of more than 500,000 songs released over a period of 30 years, a computer algorithm was able to sort the successful songs from also rans with an accuracy of up to 86%. Successful songs are happier, brighter, more party-like, more danceable, and less sad than most songs.
I mean, all right. You know.
What? I wish I would get people to stop covering the fucking Beatles Yesterday. Fucking hate that song. You like that song, Mikey?
Yes.
You
Does Donald Trump like that song?
No.
That's been the most covered song of all time. Beatles Yesterday.
I don't mind the Beatles, but I
Yesterday.
just get creeped out by people who are really into the Beatles.
Yeah.
Because then they start singing the Beatles. And what I like the Beatles is when the Beatles sing the Beatles. I'm not a big fan of anybody else not the Beatles singing the Beatles.
Can I just think that the Beatles are okay, and that's a controversial opinion, and that's what pisses me off about Beatles fans.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I've also kind of got to the point where it's like, it's okay to let people like things, and it's okay to let people dislike things.
Correct. Every time I
Don't all
shit,
have to fucking like the same thing.
exactly. Every time I shit, like around football season, when there's Super Bowls happening, there used to be curmudgeons like me, Mango, who would go on Facebook and be like, "Man, fuck football. Good, have fun with your fucking sports thing." And people are like, let people like other things, man. And I'm like, well, let me dislike other things. You ever think of that, shithead?
I mean, I'm kind of saying, like, you're allowed to dislike it, but if other people, like both people don't get to be shitheads.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to dislike it, but
Yes.
then you can't be like, fuck this bullshit, but also I'm allowed to like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I say it on my own wall. I'm not going to people who like it and poo-pooing their good time. And by the way, I go to Super Bowl parties. I go see movies I don't like, and I'm not sitting there bitching the entire time
what's
because
a movie you saw that you didn't like?
Guardians of the Galaxy, and I had no interest
Which one?
in it.
One or two?
The first one.
Fucking A, man. Like, now you're just being contrary. You didn't like it at all?
Oh, it's so cliche, so dumb, so corny. There were a few funny jokes, and that's about it.
French researchers have put an end to conspiracy theories surrounding the death of Adolf Hitler after a study of his teeth proved he definitely died after taking cyanide and shooting himself in the head in Berlin.
I
in
wish you stopped
1945.
that sentence at, he definitely died.
Well, no, so like, I'm sure you guys.
So
know this.
he took cyanide and he shot himself in the head?
Yes.
Just in case.
How do they know he shot himself in the head? What if it was someone else that shot him in the head and they just say it's him shooting himself?
I feel like they can actually see how the bullet entered it and presume that he was holding the gun.
It's also the forensic analysis. A lot of times, like if they want to find out if someone was killed via suicide or an intruder, for example, based on how much spread there is and how much shattering there is of the bone, they can tell where the how the distance of where the bullet was when it was discharged. And also sometimes if the cadaver is fresh enough, you can see charring of the skin. You can see ash residue on the skin that wouldn't reach them if it was like, say, 15 feet away.
Well, but somebody could just go right up to him and still hold a gun up to his head.
Yeah.
You know? But I also like imagine someone who's like, okay, I'm killing myself, so I got to take my cyanide and I have to shoot myself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
But what
really
if he didn't
cover
have
Well,
the
yeah,
balls?
that's actually what
What if he
happened.
didn't have the balls to shoot himself, so he asked someone else to shoot him for him?
Well, so the story goes, or whatever, that he took the cyanide and his doctor said, if it doesn't work, you want to make sure that you're dead, so shoot yourself in the process. Like, he wanted to make sure he was dead.
So why
man.
not
you need to
just
take the
shoot yourself?
cyanide then.
I mean, quite frankly, he's being a little selfish because he's taking a cyanide pill from someone who probably wanted to die.
Someone else who needed it.
A lot
Yeah.
of, well, he and his
So
wife
Hitler
at the
to the
time
end.
did it together.
What's that?
His wife, they did it, as far as I know, his wife and him did it at the same moment, and then they were buried outside.
It's kind of a sweet couple
Or didn't
story.
they say they escaped to Argentina?
Well,
That's
the
what
thing.
the
That's
theory is, yeah.
a lot of people say that. Just to finish off the thing, the researchers reached their conclusion after they were given rare access to fragments of Hitler's teeth, which have been held in Moscow since the end of World War II. So please, all of you conspiracy theorists out there who have this weird concept that he escaped and went to Argentina or somewhere in South America, it's false. That's a conspiracy theory. He killed himself.
Hey, I tell you what, you really want to do it, you shoot yourself with a cyanide pill. Boom. All right. Thank you, Taylor, for the news. Mango, we got to wrap up this episode. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we go?
I would like to plug My dog Snovio. He's
Yeah.
the cutest thing. At Snovio the Palm on Instagram. If you
Oh,
wanna...
for real?
Oh my god, he runs his own Instagram account. Sounds like he's pretty smart.
No, he actually doesn't know how to be cute for Instagram, so it's very difficult to take photos for him.
I said last week, every dog in LA has their own Instagram account.
Yeah, we were talking about that. And you can also find Ron Babcock at heyron.com and at heyron on Twitter.
And we do have an Instagram account for our dog.
Oh my God.
We only have one photo. It was a thing my girlfriend and I were going to do. Anyway, her name is Ladybug, and her handle is at BugBites, BYTES.
Oh, my God.
So, listen, we all know I've become what I've hated, okay? But I'm fine with it.
That's amazing that name wasn't taken. Bug Bites with
I know,
BYTES.
right?
I guess because, bytes and bits are not part of the vernacular anymore. It used to be when the internet was new, but not
you should
anymore.
check it out. We're gonna be bopping off on
There
our
you go.
Bug Bites.
Inside joke.
that usually
And Mikey Bolts is on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. We always link to everyone's accounts at Mikey Bolts.
Yes.
And Taylor Nikolai at Taylor Nikolai.
At Mango Tango too.
At Mango Tango.
We just got the new Instagram handle.
Yeah, very cool. We'll link to
Just
everyone.
yesterday.
N-I-K.
No, fuck off.
Oh my god, that was so pure.
Just
And
really
at
hate it.
Maddox Magazine. At Maddox Magazine.
Make sure to follow at Hammocks, Maddox's evil brother.
Maddox doesn't let me sing on the podcast anymore, everybody.
Correct.
So if you want, just go to the older episodes.
When
if
you
want to hear me
sing, you're
sing.
really-
Wait, I've never heard him sing. Can you sing?
When
it
he
like that?
sings, it really does bring up the question of what gender is this person?
Oh my God.
Such an angelic voice.
Thank you to the first tangent officer, Ron Babcock.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mango.
Thanks.
Thank you to Mikey Bolts.
Thank you, Maddox.
And thank you to junior journalist Taylor Nikolai.
What gender am I?
But most of all, you're welcome.
Hey there, this is a first-time caller. I'm about maybe 20 episodes in right now, and I'm really enjoying your show, but I did have one observation to make. I'm talking about the argument where you were saying about... God damn it.
Call fuck up, and we got another one here. Listen to this.
What is the difference between a dog and a prostitute? You can't get STDs from a dog.
Good joke. And he called in and he corrected it. I'm not playing those. And we got a rare fuck up from our own bad hombre. Listen to this.
Look, the easiest fucking way to tell the intelligence of an animal is try... Oh, shit. Never mind. I got another call. I'm gonna hang up on this.
Because I'm hanging up on this shit.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.